What's up, everyone? So I'm going to be recording an AskBP Podcast episode, which is our daily podcast. I'm going to be recording one here in about 3 or 4 minutes or so, just getting the very few final touches on this thing done. So I thought, why not Periscope this thing? So I'm going to be talking for a little bit, and hey, what's up? How do I say alternate anyway? Alternate, you know? We're like good friends. I don't even know how to say your name. Alternate. Sammy buys houses. What's up, Sammy? Hello. Financial Sumo joined. I don't know who that is, but that sounds two cool things in a row. Oh, alternate. Good. I said it perfect. Look at that. All right, so let me show you guys how I record these AskBP podcast episodes. So I'm just going to kind of take you on a tour of my studio here. I mean my office. So this is where the magic happens, right here. This is my Jason in LA. What's up, Jason in LA? And what's up, Providence REI? Hello. So this is my little office. This is where I hang out. This is my black background. Fernando from Silicon Valley. Hello, what's up? Hey, you guys, let me know where you're from. There's 24 people here. Watt from Indy. Awesome. That's really hard to see when that. This is my kind of messy office, but so this is where my laptop is. We got Mike from DC, Manhattan, Kansas. That's funny. Oh yeah, I knew Conway. I knew that. I guess put two and two together. San Diego, Dallas, Michigan. Awesome. What's up, everyone? All right, so this is my office, my computer. So what I do is I actually record these podcasts, the AskBP podcast. I record two different ways. I got my microphone right here, and I put it up in front of here. I got my camera way over here, and so I stand like. What's up from Harlingen, Texas? So I stand like this and record the podcast. That's really bright. However, so I use the camera over there, which is over there. And Morales Elliott from Connecticut, what's up? So I got the camera right there. I don't like plugging my microphone directly into my camera though, because I just don't think the sound is quite as good. I got this, microphone that actually plugs into the camera, but I just don't like that sound as much as I like my Heel PR40, which I use for the Bigger Pockets podcast. So what I do is I set this up like this. I stand here in front of the camera, and then I record. So I'm gonna do that now. So what I actually do is I record it in Garage. It is the best. Bigger Pockets rocks. I agree, and I'm not just saying that. All right, so I'm gonna hook up my laptop to my audio, and I'm opening up GarageBand. I don't need this narration. Oops, what's it doing? I'm gonna delete. Let's do a quick test. Okay, it looks like it's working, but I'm gonna zoom in. I'm not very good with the new GarageBand. They change stuff. All right, so let me just do a quick check. Test. 1, 2, 3. We've got recording and we're not peaking. That's a good sign. Okay, I'll stop that. Oops, stop that. Delete it. Go back to the beginning. And I'm gonna record. So now we got that already. You're my inspiration. Thanks, you're my inspiration. Yeah, give Brandon hearts, people. I never get hearts. I don't even know hearts. But let me guys tell you a story before I record this. Check out my eye. You see that? That is a black eye. Which sucks to have to record this thing with a black eye. But hopefully from this distance you can't see it. Because then everyone's going to make that joke. Did your wife hit you? Which she didn't. She didn't. I was actually playing Ultimate Frisbee and I got nailed in the face with a Frisbee. That sucked. So, yeah. But I actually put a little bit, I know, don't tell, this is a secret, don't tell. I put a little bit of my wife's makeup, just a little bit, right there. Oh, hearts are your ranking on Periscope. Well, that's good. Yeah, I need hearts then. Woohoo! All right, awesome. Look at all those hearts. So, let's record this thing. Maybe before I do, I want to tell you guys one more other. Every Bear Pockets video I do, not the newest ones with the black background, but I have that gnome in almost every video in the background hiding somewhere. So look for that in my old videos. So it's 4 deals. So the question came to us from, who'd that question come to us? Danielle from Alpharetta, Georgia. So I'm going to answer her question, but in order to do that, I'm going to set this camera up here somewhere like, how does this work? Good? Let me see how that looks. All right. Hey, that looks pretty good, right? All right, and tomorrow morning you'll be able to see this AskBP, the official one. So I usually carry my paper with me like this. Got to turn my camera on. You won't be able to see that. Don't worry about it. Make sure I'm zoomed in correctly. Sometimes I'll have my wife come in and actually help me zoom. If I don't have my wife, I'll go like this. I'll take the microphone. I'll put it exactly where my face is, like right there. And then I go walk up to the mic and I make sure that I'm perfectly in focus on that. And I think we're pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the record button there. I'm going to walk back here. I'm going to hit the record button on my GarageBand. But before, I got to check one more thing, just in case. I would hate to record the whole thing and then have it not work right. Let's make sure I'm picking up the right microphone. Yes, we are. And we should be good to go then. Okay. All right, you guys ready for this thing? All right, so I'm recording there, I'm recording here. I'm just keep my paper with me. That's okay, because you can't see it in the camera anyway. And let's do this thing. So, now, these are edited somewhat, so if I screw up, don't make fun of me. All right, let's do this. I have to start with a clap. That way I can edit my audio and my video together later. Okay. Today on the AskBP Podcast, we're talking about what is the best way to finance more than 4 properties at a time. Stay tuned. All right, that's my intro. You guys like that? We'll edit this out. Danielle from Alpharetta. Okay. Hey, what is going on, everyone? My name is Brandon, and you are listening and or watching the Ask BP Podcast, the show that comes to you every weekday and answers your biggest real estate questions. And today's question came in an email from Danielle from Alpharetta, Georgia. I hope I got that right. Alpharetta, Georgia. And Danielle's question was, how can I finance more than 4 properties? So Danielle, let me try to explain a little bit. Maybe I'll back up for people who aren't sure what you're talking about. Maybe they didn't know you can only finance 4. Let me talk about why that is. First of all, so the way that mortgages work, the way that loans and mortgages work is that there are these buyers who buy up mortgages in bulk from banks. So you go to your local bank, your XYZ bank down the street, and you go get a mortgage. And they give you the cash so that you can pay for the house, and then you owe them money every month. However, think about that. If the bank did that to thousands of customers, they would run out of money very, very quickly. Banks don't have billions of dollars, like small banks don't have billions of dollars. So what they do is they package up these mortgages and they sell them up to big mortgage buyers. Now, the 2 largest mortgage buyers are Fannie Mae, which is the majority, that's the biggest one, and Freddie Mac. So there's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And you have Fannie Mae buys up a lot of them, and in order to sell your loans to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which most banks do, you have to abide by a lot of rules. And one of those rules that Fannie Mae has, which is the largest buyer of mortgages, is no more than 4 properties on your credit report. And so if you're trying to finance more than 4 properties, the bank says no. And a lot of people get stuck. And they're buying properties, they buy 1, they buy 2, they buy 3, they buy 4, and then they're stuck and they don't know where to go from there. And they say, well, this is the most I can ever get. I guess I'm done investing. Then they sit down and go and watch their soap operas. But not you, because you're asking this question, Danielle, so you want to learn how to get past this. So let me talk about 5, I think I got 5 different ways you can finance more than 4 properties. So, number 1, first way to do it is to go to a bank that sells them up to Freddie Mac. Freddie Mac, the other mortgage buyer, they're kind of both similar because they're both owned by the government now, sort of. There's weird little government enterprises. But Freddie Mac will actually allow up to 10 mortgages on your credit report versus 4. And so if you go to a lender who does Freddie Mac loans, you can usually get up to 10 loans on your credit report before they start saying no. So that's one thing to keep in mind. You can go to a bank that will allow that. So that's the first way. The second way you can get more than 4 financed is through a portfolio lender. So a portfolio lender is a lender, just like a local bank, XYZ bank, but rather than selling their loans up to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, or whoever's buying them, they keep them in-house. And because of that, they don't have they don't have to fit the square person in the square box or whatever. You know, like they have a little bit of flexibility in what they can do. And so what they do is they look at the whole picture, who you are, what kind of risk are you going to be to them, and then if they like what they see, they can lend you and they can not have to abide by those 4 or 10 or whatever limits. So a portfolio lender can be a good way to finance more than 4 properties. I've used them on a number of occasions. In fact, I don't think I've used a traditional bank, not a portfolio lender, in a number of years now, just because they all say no to me because I got more than 4 loans. So I typically just go to the portfolio lenders in my area and talk to them, and that works out pretty good. So portfolio lenders is number 2. Number 3 would be commercial lenders. And so this is where a lot of investors, once they hit that 4 mark or the 10 mark, they say, you know what, I'm done with residential, I'm moving on up. And then they start doing commercial properties. And so they can go and they get 5 plexes, 10 plexes, 20 plexes. Now those aren't sold the same way. They don't have the same rule requirement as the single family houses or the 1, 2, 3, and 4 unit properties do. So the commercial lenders can do a lot more what they want. In fact, some commercial lenders even will allow you to finance a residential property as a commercial loan. It's just usually not as good interest rates, usually a lower term or lesser term, but you can still do it that way. And I know a lot of investors who do that. They buy rental properties, just single family houses, they just use the commercial loan department at the bank and they're able to do that. Just again, keep in mind there's shorter terms, higher payments, a little bit higher interest rate, some things you got to deal with. So just keep that in mind as well. So that's number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 4 you could consider is seller financing. That is where the actual owner of the property, if they own it free and clear, the owner of the property will finance the deal for you. And so that's how I financed my 24-unit apartment complex, where the seller wanted to sell. They didn't want to have to manage it and take care of the property anymore, but they still wanted to receive income for their retirement. And so they sold it to me with almost no money down I was 24, 25 years old at the time. They sold it to me because I was energetic, I was enthusiastic, I loved real estate, I was a hustler. I like to think I still am in this game. And so they saw that I could take care of it in a way that they didn't want to. And so they sold it with seller financing. Instead of me paying a bank, I paid them every single month. And so I'm a big fan of seller financing. In fact, I think seller financing is probably one of the best methods going forward over the next 10 years. We're going to see a lot of value in seller financing. Why? Because the baby boomer generation who owns all these properties are getting ready to retire. They want to go golf. They want to go down to Arizona or New Mexico for the winter. They don't want to sit there and be stuck with their 4-plex or their 10-plex or whatever. And so if you can create a win-win situation with them where you buy the properties and you pay them as the bank, then they're still getting their retirement money, but they don't have to work for it anymore. It truly can be a win-win situation. And finally, number 5, the 5th way that I would consider financing more than 4 properties is through a partner. And so there's a lot of different ways you can structure partnerships, but for example, you could use a partner who comes in and they provide the mortgage. So they get the mortgage in their name, but both of you are on title. That's one way to handle it. And so that way you're on their 4-unit limit, not your own. And maybe you split at 50-50 from that point on. Maybe they supply the down payment and the mortgage, and you bring the deal and the management. I've done that a number of times where I've worked with partners who they bring the down payment and they bring the ability to get a mortgage, and I just bring a really great deal. And I say, hey, I've got this deal. I can't finance it myself. Do you want to go 50-50 on it? You bring the mortgage and the money. I'll put my own work into it. And at the end of the day, anything we make, we'll split 50-50. And that has worked out really well for me as well. So there's just a few ways that you can finance properties more than 4. So hopefully that helps you. Those are 5 ways to finance more than 4 properties. So before we get out of here, though, let's cover today's success quote of the day, which is, Jim Rohn, who said, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. I love that. It kind of goes with what I always say is, I want to help people build their own future, not spend their time or waste their time building somebody else's. That's one of my goals in life, is to help as many people as I can start building their own wealth and their own future instead of building their boss's future. So hopefully that helps you guys today. Hopefully that Ask BP episode was insightful. If you have not yet given me a thumbs up on this video, if you're watching this on YouTube, I just want to recommend, give me a quick thumbs up. Let me know that you like this video. Leave a comment below whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're listening on iTunes, wherever you're experiencing this AskBP episode, just leave us a comment or a rating, review, all that stuff helps more people discover the show. So with that, let's get out of here. Remember, though, in pursuit of your goals, don't just learn, but get out there and take action. For the AskBP Podcast, my name is Brandon, signing off. Whew. All right, any still left on here? Hey, 23 people. Awesome. So that's the end of the video. Now, do you guys like that? Was that entertaining enough? I try to make these things exciting enough. All right, there's some hearts, so that's a good sign. All right, so here's what I do next. I'll tell you guys the rest of the process. This is the card. I pull it from the camera, come over here, and I'm not going to make you guys sit through this whole thing. It takes me about 15 minutes or so, but I'll kind of show you what I do. Or I guess I could sit here for 15 minutes, but great video. Thanks. Great job. Thanks. I wonder if my, I'll have to look here and see, but I wonder if my black eye came through. I think that makeup covered it pretty good. Yeah, I used my wife's makeup. It was awesome. All right, so I got to import the video. That takes like 5 minutes. There's not enough free space on your photo library. Oh, man. So here's the downside of buying a new Mac. I bought this brand new Mac. It's really nice, but it's got a solid state hard drive that has like a 500 gig limit. And like I just maxed it out, and yeah. So that sucks. What software editing are you using? So here's what I use. What I'm actually going to use is a program called ScreenFlow. ScreenFlow is not really designed for that purpose, to be honest. ScreenFlow is designed to be a program that you can take screencasts, record your screen while you're talking. And I like ScreenFlow so much, but they've got a really good editing software involved in it. So I use that for all my video editing and audio editing. So now I actually don't edit these videos. What I do is I just I mix the audio and I put it with the video and I make the two one track and I make it nice. And then I just upload it to Vimeo, which is our video service, and I upload it to a private video account. And then my virtual assistant, who lives over in the Philippines, his name is Dave. He is amazing. He's been with me for 2 years now. He's awesome. Dave actually takes it, cuts it, edits it, puts the video before and after, and then he puts up the show notes and he publishes it. And so this is about the most that I do, except for this crappy thing that now I got to figure out how to... I got to delete like 3 gigs off my computer. What do I delete off my computer? Anybody computer savvy out there? Let me empty my trash. That's probably a good way to start. I'm going to empty my trash. How do I do that? Empty. Empty trash. You cannot undo this. Okay, let's hope that worked. While we're waiting here, I might as well just stay on. Do you guys have any real estate questions at all or any other random questions? How much does your VA cost? External hard drive, I do need that. How much does my VA cost? Dave is he started at like $300 US dollars a month. I think we've given him quite a bit more than that now. He's probably double that by now. But yeah, significantly cheaper than obviously US help. But I think I've heard many times over that what we're paying him is a really good wage for the Philippines, which is good. At least I hope so, because I want to keep him happy. And yeah, so... your show turned us on to Grant Cardone and others. Big thanks, reading all your books. Thank you. Yeah, Grant Cardone is awesome. He's pretty fun. He's a good guy. How do you buy multifamily with low cap rates? With low cap rates? I don't know what you meant there. Low cap rates. I'm guessing that was a weird typo. Type that again. Unless I just didn't understand it, what ear means. Oh, these low cap rates. Okay, yeah, good question. So how do you buy multifamilies when they're all too expensive, right? Because they're so expensive, the cap rates are so low because it's crazy. So there's a couple easy ways to do it. Number one, you don't do it. And there's a lot of people that believe that right now. They just don't invest in real estate. They're not buying the multifamilies because they can't find them. I haven't bought a large multifamily in a couple years. I bought my 24-unit apartment. I bought a 5-plex, a 3-plex in the last couple years. And then this year I bought a couple single-family houses. But, yeah, the multifamilies are a lot harder. So a lot of people are just sitting out. They're waiting for the market to go down again. And that's one avenue. The other avenue is just to hustle more than you might normally. And so what I mean by that is get out there and find the deals that everyone else isn't doing. The MLS and stuff like that is going to be difficult.
Like, I don't deny that. You might have to go out there and actually do other things like driving for dollars, direct mail. I've talked to like 3 or 4 investors in the last month or so who have all kind of told me the same thing, that they're getting their multifamilies through the unconventional routes. One guy said he did it through driving for dollars, just driving around and looking for potential multifamilies that looked good and then calling the owners. Serge Shukow was telling me he just built relationships with people who were these, really intelligent multifamily, owners in the area. And so you just go and take them to coffee and talk to them and build the relationship. And then into the relationship later on came this idea of, hey, do you want to buy my property? So that's one way to do it too, is just to reach out there. So Brandon asked, how did you find your 24 unit? So funny story there. So I was actually reading, where is it? I don't know. It's up here somewhere. Whatever. The ABCs of Real Estate Investing by Ken McElroy. And it's one of my all-time favorite books. I love that book a lot. Ken McElroy is an awesome teacher. And in this book, it's all about apartment complexes. And so I read the whole book, and I was super jazzed, and I was excited. So I read the second book, and I was super excited about that. And so I ended up telling everybody I knew about it. So this is on like a Saturday. I read both books. And then on Sunday morning, I went to church, and there was this older couple there who I had known for many, many years. I had no idea they invested in real estate, but I knew them for years just casually at church. And I mentioned to them that, along with a lot of other people, I'm like, I really want to buy a multifamily property, an apartment complex someday. And they looked at me kind of funny, and they're like, that's interesting, Brandon, because we actually have a multifamily we're looking to sell. And they were actually in the process of foreclosing. They were foreclosing on a property. Hey, you should do a Q&A on Periscope and post it to YouTube. This is awesome. Thanks. I should do that, huh? Yeah. I'm not very much on Periscope, but I kind of like it. Anyway, they had sold it like 10 years earlier, and the guy they sold it to just stopped paying the mortgage. He was going bankrupt with his gas station business, and he was losing it. So they were taking this back in foreclosure, and because they had sold it on seller financing, so they were taking it back, and they were having to do all their own repairs. And they were getting older. They were in their late 60s, early 70s, and they didn't want to manage this thing. So that's how I found it, was just word of mouth and being excited. So. Be the real estate version of Justine. I don't know Justine. Is that a Periscope person or a YouTube person? Edgar said, are all of your properties in Washington? Yeah, everything I have right now, everything is in Washington. Justin. Yeah, everything I have is actually within a 20-mile drive or 30-mile, 20-mile, 30-minute drive of my house. So, okay, it says 1 successfully imported. There it is, okay. So let me show you guys a little bit what I do now at this point. I'm on YouTube, apparently. All right, so what I do is I open up ScreenFlow. All right, and I'm going to go to New Document. We'll do it in HD. Yeah, I'll go 720. There's no reason to go. Okay, I'll go 1080, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to open up a blank document. I'm going to drag in the file. So here's the file. And I'm going to expand it out so it's full size. So there's me talking. Like that. Let's see if it worked. I got no sound. Hold on. Let's try that. Which is the largest buyer of mortgages, is no more than 4 properties on your credit report. All right. So I take that now and I drag in the MP3, which I just made. Oh, I haven't made that yet. So there's the MP3. It's in GarageBand. I'll take the GarageBand MP3 and I want to listen to it, make sure it sounds okay. Alpharetta, Georgia. And Danielle's question was, how can I finance? Love it. All right. Export song to disk. I'm going to export this as an MP3 on my desktop. I'll call it AskBP, 1. Exporting it as an MP3 takes a couple seconds. Yeah, I don't know if this is interesting to you guys at all, but I might as well keep showing you how the magic works behind the scenes. All right, come on. Almost there. Come on, MP3 export. I hate waiting. Man, look at all these hearts. This is great. You guys rock. Jason, yes, this is cool. Good. Okay, I'm glad you like this. Oh, man, what's it doing now? Converting to MP3. I'm waiting. You know my favorite thing about a Mac? I love this. Is the hot corners. Watch this. When I go to the left corner, boom, it shows my desktop. And when I go to my bottom right corner, boom, it shows all my open tabs, everything I got open. Right corner, it goes to my calculator. I use this every day like 100 times. Top right corner, it goes to all my apps that I need. Right there. I love that.
Like, I don't know, maybe the PC has a version of that, but man, this is like, I love this. So, okay, GarageBand, we're done with. I'm going to subtract or minus that for now, minimize it. Now I'm going to drag in my AskBP episode right here, and then I need to sync them together with that clap. So where's that clap? I can look down here. I look for that moment where it's like, it peaks. Like, right? Let's see if that's it. That was it. And then I look for the actual video of the clap, which is right there. I'm going to zoom in. And there's the one peak right here of the clap. I'm going to drag it over to meet with that one right there. And then let's go like this. Let's zoom in really close. And I think I can, what do you think? Right? No, that ain't going to be good. Right there. That's pretty darn close. We're within like really, really tight. Okay, now what I do is I'm going to turn the volume completely off on the original video one. So now when I watch it, how's it look?
Back up for people who aren't sure what you're talking about. Maybe they didn't know you can only finance 4. Let me talk about
that is a smooth sounding. Now, also what I like to do is I like to go like this, and I can actually filter. I can remove my background noise. Will you ever cover wraparound mortgages on BP here or Periscope or subject to seller financing? So I talk a little bit about seller. I never talk about like subject to or wraps for 2 reasons. One, I never do them. And so I don't like teaching things that I don't do personally. I just feel weird doing that. And 2, there's a lot of people who argue that there's a lot of danger, I know there is, in subject to and wraps. There's just danger in the due on sale clause, and newbies can get in trouble with that. And so I don't teach it just because I know, I guess, newbies will take it, like, they'll just go and take it and run with it. In fact, when I wrote my book, the book on investing with no and low money down, which is right here. When I wrote that book, I wrote an entire chapter on subject to. And then I took the entire chapter out and deleted it because I was like, I don't know enough about this because I've never done it, and I didn't want to teach anything I didn't know. And I was like, somebody's going to run with this and then do something illegal or do something bad. So anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this video. I think it's Command T or no, Shift T. Cut the video right like that. I'm going to delete all the intro stuff at the beginning. I'm going to move it over so it just starts like this.
Hey, what is going on, everyone? My name is Brandon, and you...
Oh, you know what? I just cut too much because I forgot the intro part. So let's drag that back over. Uh-oh, what did I do? What did I do? Let's see. I had that.
And let's do this thing. So, no, these are edited. Some audio and my video together later.
There's my clap.
Okay.
We're good. Let's find the beginning. Right there. Now, Shift T, delete this, move it over, and it should start with the...
Today on the AskBP Podcast, we're talking about what is the best way to finance more than 4 properties at a time.
Perfect. All right. So now we covered all that. We'll go to the end where I shut the camera off. That's probably about good. Again, I'm not the one that's physically going to be editing this. The rest of it, Dave will be taking care of all that. I think to get it close. Now, last thing I do is check this out. I know it's Periscope, so it might be kind of hard to see. But the video quality looks pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with it. However, what I like to do is I like to filter a little bit, make it a little bit cooler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the video, and I'm going to do some video filters. So first thing I'm going to do is called color adjustment, white point adjust. So watch this. It's going to turn a little bit orange. I don't want it quite that orange, so I go and adjust it. And I'm going to adjust it until I like it. It just makes me look a little bit more tan. I know that sounds weird, but like, it just adds some color to my face. So that looks a little better there. And then the last thing I do is I add on I don't know how you say this. Oops, what did I just do? Oh, I just did it again. Okay, oops. All right, so I'm going to add on a vignette. Is that how you say that? Anybody know? Vignette effect or vignette? I think it's vignette. I don't know. Oh, okay, so what it does is it blacks out the entire thing but makes it a little bit light. Now all I have to do is move that over. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go 700. Boom, that moves the light over there. And I'm going to go, how about 350? Boom. Okay, so now the light's in the middle. I increase my radius. And what it does is it adds this cool little black effect to the corners. So it might be kind of hard to see, but let me do on and off real quick. I don't even know if you can pick up on that here on the Periscope, but there it's off, there it's on. It just adds a little bit more like
flare through the picture and kind of like just kind of from coolness. So again, I'll show you what that is. It looks like this. There's off, there's on. Just darkens a little bit, makes it look a little bit cooler. And let's watch a little bit of it, make sure it looks good.
That. They buy rental properties, just single-family houses. They just use the commercial loan department at the bank, and they're able.
All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So at this point, it's good for Dave to take. So I just hit Publish to, Vimeo, 1080p, save a copy to disk, just because I like to save a copy to the desktop, just in case something goes wrong with the upload. AskBP. Save. Next. I'm going to call this Ask BP. I don't know what episode this is, but whatever. I don't know. Whatever. What's the date today? 8, 26? No, 27? 15? And I'm going to make it private so you guys can't watch it. Publish. And that's it. It is now exporting. So it exports, takes about 12 minutes to export. 13, 14. Actually, in reality, it kind of lies. I don't know, 20 minutes, half hour to export. And then once it exports, then it's going to upload to Vimeo. And that takes about half hour or so, maybe 45 minutes to upload and to render. It takes a while to render there. And then Dave will download it onto his computer. He will edit it. He will upload it. And tomorrow morning, biggerpockets.com/askbp, that'll be the episode. So that's how you do an Ask BP episode. I don't know. That's all I got. So I'm going to go hang out with my wife. We're going to watch some Boardwalk Empire. We're on season 4. Of Boardwalk Empire. So, I don't know. That's all I got. Do a Periscope on multifamily for beginners. So, I'm actually not opposed to that, Sammy Buys Houses. Also, I'm doing a webinar in a few weeks, I think, on an hour-long webinar on multifamily. So, I don't know exactly when I'm going to do it, but it's sometime in the next few weeks. But this week is on how to invest in real estate while working a full-time job. So, make sure you guys sign up for this week's webinar. It is at biggerpockets.com/webinar. And I am dying. My computer's going to die. So, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to plug in my computer. You're going to have a good night. Thank you for joining me on this Periscope. If you like this, make sure you're following me here on Periscope, and I'll try to do more cool Periscope things. Webinar replays are free for 24 hours. They are. They're actually free for 48 hours after I record them. So, I record them on Wednesday. They're free till Friday night. So, Sammy Buys Houses, you're a pro member. Awesome. Go watch it in the pro replay room. There's one in there on multifamilies. And I'll do a revamp of it here in a few weeks. So, all right. See you guys later. Thanks for all the hearts. You guys rock. Good night.